You're listening to Borderless Banter, a weekly podcast by hopefully soon to be two of your favorite people in the world, Jorge and Goody. Enjoy!
Boom! All right. Episode numero 7. Is it 7?
No, siete. Even I know it's not siete.
Is it 6?
Seis.
Oh, sorry. Numero 6. That guy. Yeah, so numero 6. That's awesome. Fast.
Yeah.
Great stuff, you know. Great week. It's been a fantastic week. How's your week going so far?
Let me tell you. Okay, so we're filming now. It's a Thursday. It's Thursday evening, early evening. So obviously, as a student pastor, Wednesday nights are huge for me. And last night was great, and you were there.
Yeah, fantastic event. Yep.
I can't remember if we have mentioned it. So Jorge has 2 daughters. They're both in the student ministry at the church that we're at. And so we last night got to kick off the school year with the always hilarious comedian Jaron Myers.
My name is Jaron.
And
how can I help you today?
Jillian and I were talking about this last night. And so the cool part was, so we got to take Jaron out to dinner afterwards.
Oh, yeah?
And
where do you guys go?
Carvelis.
Oh, that's nice.
I was like, do you like pizza and wings? And he's like, am I alive?
Who doesn't? That's awesome.
But we were joking with him last night and told him, you know, we're so glad you came. It was such a great time. And then Jillian was like, honestly, inviting you might have been more for us than it was for anyone else, because we just really love you, and we've been following you for a while, or for a long time. And he cracked up, but I was a little worried at first.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you were there, I'm not sure if you realize this. First of all, do you ever think everything started with you showed like a clip of like 2 guys?
Yeah. I always
doing some kind of comedy or something funny.
I love the guys down at Sunday Cool. They're a t-shirt company in Florida, but they're a Christian organization. Their big thing is doing stuff for churches and all that kind of stuff. And like 5 or 6 years ago, 2 of the guys started just making videos for them.
Yeah,
and it has just blown up. And so now it's like this whole big thing that they use as one of their marketing things. And they're hilarious. Good old Andy and Cool Carl. But I love playing. They put a video out every single Wednesday.
Yeah. So
I love playing it on Wednesday.
It was there, and you can tell people are coming in and out. They're watching this, and they're a bit confused. And one thing, I just feel like when this, because it was a combined thing, we got like all
other
kinds
churches,
of ages there.
Yeah.
And it was like, who is in here? So it was like the first 5 minutes of like, what's going on here, right?
I think people were really thrown off. Like,
that's right.
Wait, what did we come to do?
That's right. What is this about?
Is this comedian just on TV? Like what? But
that's right.
But we made it through that.
And then he comes in, right? And then he starts like his stand-up comedy, like
his normal set.
You can tell. Here's a question. Like, I would love to know how many people within that. I mean, we got a pretty awesome turnaround, right?
Yeah.
And like, you will ask, how many of you guys have been in a stand-up comedy before?
I
bet
probably not
it would
even
be less
10%.
than- yeah, that's it. I was gonna say 5%, but yeah.
I was even asking the kids, and they were like, "I've never been to a comedy show."
So they don't know what's happening
And
there.
so, because it's a whole different thing.
It is weird. So you can tell the ones that we've been in comedy standing or some, we're like, okay, this is starting and
Yeah.
this is really good.
Yeah.
And the guy, first of all, again, kudos to him, because like within the first 5 minutes, you can hear crickets in that room.
Oh yeah.
And it was dark. It was fantastic. You know, it was a great setup place. But the guy is, I'm feeling sad and nervous.
I know.
On the end.
You think you were? I'm the one who paid him to come. And I was just like, I'm sitting there, and I looked at my wife, and I was like,
he's gonna walk out?
what did we just do? Like, what is going on?
What, do you think he could have just walked out at that point? Did he say
Oh
something?
no, he
like that?
recognized it. So we talked about it after the show because he was like, he goes, yeah, man, I got like 2 minutes in, and I realized that there were a lot more students than there were anyone else.
I know.
And he goes, I kind of have a different like
Setup.
approach
Yeah.
when it's mostly students. And so that's what. So if you were there, well, for those of you who weren't there, you know, normally in a comedy show, like you want the audience kind of dark and the stage well lit.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, throw up the house lights. Let's have some interaction. Let's have
right.
fun. And
right.
once he started interacting with the students,
That was much better.
they loved it.
That's
and
right. It was great.
I mean, the rest of the show, everyone was. I was watching some of our high school boys.
Yeah, loving it.
That like they always try to give off this like, oh, I'm super serious vibe,
Yeah.
and I'm too cool for everybody, and they were absolutely
Loving it.
dying.
But there was a part of a vulture or no vulture, it was like a bird. What was that bird? Pigeon? No, it's not a pigeon. That whole email story he talked about.
Oh, the geese.
The geese. And there was a student going like this. And I like, did you see? Were you able to see that? Yeah. Like the guy was like, whoa. Okay, so then he started interacting with the guy. It was beautiful what it was happening. It was, and then you can turn around and people were laughing and stuff like that. They were into it. You know, it was pretty funny.
When he pointed out like some of our high school boys that. He goes, and that looks like the future group of F-150 owners right there. And they all were just like, because the irony to that was like half of them already own an F-150.
That's right. Nothing wrong with F-150s. It's a great truck, though. You know, but that was so funny, though. And it was brilliant. Again, kudos to him.
Oh, yeah.
He lost the audience for like 30 seconds. Somebody went to the restroom or something, and there was some movement. No, it was he cut out somebody for using a cell phone or something. So he
Which ended up
derailed.
being one of the other youth pastors.
That's right. He was like, was he one of the pastors? Anyway, so he derailed in the attention. They broke his line.
Yeah.
And he was about to give a punchline and stuff like that. And again, if you know stand-up comedy, those things are huge.
Right. The setup to those is...
So once you lose it, you lose it. So he brilliantly knew that they were losing, and he comes back like, who wants to earn $20? Raise your hand. Have you ever done that before?
not in the middle of like...
That was brilliant.
But he got them all back.
It was great. Like within, like everybody was like, it was like started like it's a game, and I said, "Where's he going?" And then he just picked up like a pro, came back and delivered. It was fantastic, though.
So, Jaron Myers, kudos to you, man.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was a good night.
Really, yeah, it was awesome. So you were saying after that he admitted then
he just said his thing was he's like, you know, I have a set for like if it's mostly adults in the room and it's more just straight stand-up comedy, but for students now, and he actually admitted that like he kind of, so the big thing now in comedy, at least what like younger people love, is more like audience interaction, like going back and forth.
That's right.
And the irony to that was back in the day, that was like
a no.
The low comedy guys, like they did that to try to just get likes and stuff. And now it's like almost expected. Like you have to be able to work a crowd like that. Yeah. And he killed it.
It was great though. He was so humble, and I mean he's a big guy and everything.
Just a normal.
I love
normal dude.
I remember like his first joke was like, well, all right, you know, my agent told me, do you want to go to New York?
He was like,
do you want to go to LA?
We got to 2023. Big things are going to happen. Jaron, do you want to go to New York? Or do you want to play in LA?
And
he goes, no,
I want to go to LaGrange.
I want to go to LaGrange, Georgia.
And then like people were like, and I was laughing so hard. Anyway, so that was awesome. That was a good stuff.
It was a good night.
It was a good week. What if every week was that way? That would be fantastic.
Here's what's crazy. On top of that, yesterday was just insane because on top of me trying to get everything ready for that, I mean, that's a big thing to try and get ready for. My wife and I are in the middle of we're under contract to buy our first house. And
small tasks right there.
Oh my goodness. And so due diligence ended yesterday.
Oh no.
And so we're like trying to get all this stuff in, and you're going back and forth with the seller of like, hey, you do this or we're not buying. And they're like, no, we're not doing that.
You need to change this switch right there.
Yeah. So it all went through.
Yeah.
And we're completely under contract. And
congratulations.
Closing date is August 31st.
Congrats. Way to go.
And so we're
that's
buying our
experience.
first
I
house.
remember like when Tiff and I were buying our first house too. We were somewhere in Newnan, and we liked this house. But then after a while, we start having second thoughts. That happens, so right. So we're like, is that a good house? And we were like very into the house, but we have already gave him the earnest money.
Oh.
And then we have like X amount of time, so whatever. But so the money was there, and this is the craziest and the dumbest thing ever. We were so convinced that, you know what, I think we made a mistake, but now we have a house.
But not, yeah.
Which is funny because you don't really get a house. I mean, you're gonna lose a big check,
Yes.
right? But it's better to lose a big check sometimes that
To live in a house that you don't
like. So anyway, so we went to the restroom on that house, and the lady had like some kind of cool curtains and some iron kind of art. And I said, I want that. And she said, that's not for sale. And I was like, okay, then I don't want the house. And I said, it was, you have everything done. And the real estate agent, both of them were like, really? I mean, that thing is probably like from Hobby Lobby kind of deal. And I was like, nope, I want that. And the owner was like, I'm not selling it. So the real estate agents, both of the real estate agents are like, I can think, go buy something for this guy and make him happy. We're going to put in the 3 restrooms that there are and 2 bathrooms there in that house or whatever they were. But then we say no. And so then the real estate agent was like, our real estate agent, she was like, well, I want my money back then. And then the lady was like, here. So she gave us the earnest money back.
Hey.
And then we walked away.
Hey, there you go.
So there was only one thing.
All you first-time home buyers, just pick something really random in the house
Said,
and
I
be like,
want
I want that.
I know. But those are some ashes. I want them. Those are my little pet's ashes.
But no, we're excited. There's where we're at, it's on a full acre, so that's really nice. So it's a decent sized yard.
There's some country land right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, it is all woods behind us.
That's nice.
And
That's good.
there's like nothing behind us, so which means if I go far enough in,
yeah.
I can pew pew stuff.
Pew pew pew.
Pew pew
Pew, pew,
pew pew pew. I mean, this is what he means with laser tag.
Yeah, laser tag.
In water guns.
Just
and
permanent
stuff like
laser
that.
tag.
Yeah, it's good.
It's laser tag that there's only one winner, really.
That's crazy though, but that's awesome. Good stuff. Congrats on that one.
Yeah.
Again, congrats on that on the comedian. It was so fun. So yeah, we only Thursday. Did it ever happen that you don't even know which day of the week is? Because that's where I am today.
As yeah.
I thought today was
Yeah.
Tuesday.
I'm glad it's not Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm glad too.
I've gotten through as great as yesterday was. I'm glad I'm through it.
Yeah.
So
And just to go.
but I'll admit, even in my office today, I kicked back and I sat on my couch for a little bit and I read.
Reading.
Sometimes
So you're into reading? You like reading?
I love reading books.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you right now. I mean, because obviously as a student pastor, like, I'm trying to find books about student ministry or church in general and, the state of things now or whatever it may be. But one of my favorite actors is Matthew McConaughey.
Say, all right.
You put that one in there?
Oh,
That'd be
will.
awesome.
I love Matthew McConaughey. I am fascinated by the man because he's just so he's just so interesting.
Yeah.
And so I've been reading his book, Green Lights.
Oh, and they are green.
There's your book for you, Green Lights. But man, I started reading it. I literally started reading it today. And
he's from Texas, though, right?
He is from Texas. He's a Longhorn. He's actually a professor.
Really?
At the real UT, University of Texas. All
those Tennessee fans are getting mad right now.
I can't. Oh, well, whatever. It's okay. Butch Jones told them that they win at life, so you're good. But he's a professor at UT, and it's some kind of like really weird. He's like the professor of
the future.
I'll look it up and it'll pop up.
Yeah,
but it's some random thing. But anyway, great book. A little bit of it's a little colorful.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
In some spots, he definitely doesn't hold any punches when he talks about his life, but it's really good. But that got me thinking. Matthew McConaughey is one of my favorite actors.
Yeah,
and we do top fives a lot.
All right.
And so I love movies. So Jorge, what are your top 5 movies?
Top 5 movies. That's interesting. That's a little curveball to me on that one.
I got mine right here, ready to roll.
I have one, which
Okay.
I'm going to use. Again, it's not on top 5. There's the good ones, but Matthew McConaughey had, I think it's called Interstellar.
That's literally in my top 5.
No.
Literally in my top 5. Y'all, all right, I'll admit, we mentioned that we were going to do top 5 movies before we started recording.
No. Hold on. Time out.
Oh, no, we said music.
You said music. That's what I said. It was a curveball. That's what I was like. I was like, why?
So this was not planned
I was
at all.
ready to say Menudo.
Oh, my gosh. Which
you said
iteration of Menudo? Are you impressed that I could even get that?
That's right. No, but that's what I say, a curveball.
Don't drink Celsius Peach Vibes. It's gross. Sorry.
So does the strawberry watermelon. But you like
Prime.
it. Yeah.
It was okay. Ice Pop's better.
Yeah.
But Jake Paul's garbage.
Yeah.
Just hot takes all day today. But top 5 movie. And yeah, Interstellar.
Interstellar. It is such a great movie.
Well, I love. So while Jorge is
dying.
While Jorge's dying, I'll give you my top 5.
Okay, I'm not gonna copy you on this one next.
So you're gonna sense a trend here, and you're gonna be like, oh, hey, do you like Tom Hanks too?
Yeah.
So favorite movie all time, hands down, will always be Forrest Gump.
Run Forrest.
If you go to my office at the church, there's a full-size Forrest Gump movie poster in my office.
Jenny.
So
Forrest Gump is a good one.
That's number
Life
1.
Is like a
Box of chocolates.
box of chocolates. That's right.
It's just I'm fascinated by like that era, like in the 60s and and so it just anyway.
I just watched a movie. Sorry, it's not top 5, but talk about Tom Hanks. A guy named Earl. No,
Man named Otto.
Otto. Yeah,
Earl
that's right.
Otto. I can see how you got
that.
confused.
That was pretty good. It was sad. Yeah, Otto,
It is.
Earl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so go ahead.
Well, my mind just blanked. Forrest Gump, then Saving Private Ryan.
Oh,
I love World War II.
Yeah,
so
you mentioned that. That's right.
Number 3 is probably The Green Mile.
Is that? Hold on.
It's the
Which
one
was
about
Green Mile.
So it was a Stephen King book originally, but it's about prisoners on death row.
Oh,
and this takes place in like the 20s or 30s.
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks is the warden, I guess. Well, he's not the warden, but he's like head of that prison block.
Yeah.
And they call it the Green Mile because the tile is green, and that's what they walk
Oh,
before they go to Old Sparky, as they call it in the movie. So that's number 3. Number 4, oh goodness, number 4 would probably be Apollo 13.
Oh, wow.
Also Tom Hanks.
My goodness.
I told you there's a theme here. I love space and
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. So, I mean, and then Interstellar is probably number 5.
Interstellar, one of my favorite parts of Interstellar. I like space. I'm into like, can we do time travel and all that stuff? And I think it's just fantastic. But the part when he high fives himself,
He's like future.
yeah, which is what he talks about. Like if you think about like one of his speeches, one of his favorite or most famous speeches is when he thanked himself as his hero.
Oh.
And he was the hero from 35 years. So I actually have it right here. It's like, to my hero, and my hero is me. You see, every day and every week and every month and every year of my life, my hero is always 10 years away. I'm never going to be my hero. I'm not going to be obtained that. And that's fine with me because it keeps me with somebody to keep chasing.
Yeah, because he talks about his hero is always himself 10
Yeah.
year from now.
Yeah.
So he's
Interstellar.
always going to keep chasing himself.
So anyway, so that's it. So mine, again, not in order. I have, this is crazy. I love The Bodyguard. Kevin,
Is it Kevin Costner?
Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and one of the things, like one of my favorite scenes is like when he's peeling a peach.
Okay.
And then this bodyguard shows up, part of the bodyguard, and he left him. And like there's a whole fight that happens. He's about to like, he punches him and all that stuff. And at one point he's like, he puts like a chair on his neck and he's like, we're good. Kind of, saying, like, okay, he takes it out. He sits down again.
Keeps it.
And it's like nothing happens. And then the guy, Kevin Costner hears the guy taking a knife. And then Kevin Costner just throws another knife and the guy goes, "Pheet." And then he says, this is after like 2 minutes or 3 minutes of no volley action, Kevin Costner says, I don't want to talk about this anymore. So anyway, so that's one. Interstellar, this is crazy. This movie is Jennifer Gardner. And it is 13
going on 30. Really? Jorge, I just learned so much about you. I just learned so much about you, Jorge.
And the only reason I like that is because of like the songs there in that song on that movie.
Okay.
Great soundtrack. Sure. And there's like photography and design and all that stuff. But then like I'll go a little serious on that because of music. There's a great music. It's Italian. Life is Beautiful.
Oh.
You like that one?
Man, I don't know what that was. Because I was about to try to get serious, and I was going to say, like, if we'd extended it to our top 10,
yeah,
Life is Beautiful. I try to make myself. There's a few movies I make myself watch once a year.
Yeah,
Schindler's List is one of them.
Yeah,
Life is Beautiful is probably another one. And we are talking about the one about the Italian father who
absolutely
with his son in the Holocaust.
That's right. It's such a beautiful movie, though.
Oh, it is.
And like again, as a dad, you do a lot of things for your kids.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like he's making, they're in a concentration camp.
Yeah.
And the kid never realizes that they are in the concentration camp.
His father loves him so much, he's entertaining him the whole time.
Yeah, that's right. And the kid wants to see a tank.
Yeah.
And at the end, a tank
because they come to liberate
kills
the camp.
him, and the allies come in on a tank, and the kid counters his mom, and is all happy, right? So that was a good transition from 13 going 32.
Yeah, because let's be real. Jeff Colquitt was about to like throw us both under the bus because I said I like Gilmore Girls, and then you said 13 going on 30. So he's probably done at this point.
By the way, I think there's a big update that we need to do. We claimed last time a number one listener
was Charlotte Hewitt, and she admitted to me that she had not even listened to episode 4 or 5. And Jeff Colquitt has.
So Jeff has just taken the lead on this one.
Well, there is an even more update.
Okay.
Because I was talking to Charlotte's mother today about some small group stuff for student ministry. And literally while we were having a conversation on the phone, Charlotte came over to show her mom something. on episode 5. So she was watching it today.
All right, so that's awesome. So she caught up.
So she's caught up now. As we record episode 6, she has watched episode 5. So she's good to go. Charlotte, you're still number 1. It's okay.
All right, I'm sorry, Jeff, Charlotte, not right there. So that's pretty awesome. So and then
So life is beautiful.
life is
13 going on
beautiful, and
30.
I think like what I just don't know. Like I mean, I'm with you. I don't want to sound repetitive, but yeah, like Forrest Gump is a great one.
It is.
But also I'm into Denzel Washington. So there's a couple ones. I mean, it's really tough. The top 5 though, you know.
My man.
My man. So anyway, that's about it. I'm gonna leave number 5 like anything that I feel like sometimes.
That's totally fine.
But I cannot believe we got Interstellar the same stuff. We did not
pretty
practice
funny.
this. That's awesome.
That's pretty funny. It's such a good movie.
So what are the chances of that? What if that would be a good segue to what if? Do you have any what if stories?
I do. This one's kind of a humorous one, so I'll roll with it, and it might be kind of where we have to end today, time wise. So Jorge, let me ask you a question. You are aware of who the Kardashians are, correct?
Sadly, yes.
And now you're probably going, what are
Where
you about to
we're
talk
going
about?
on this? Right that.
Well, what if I told you
Oh no.
that the Buffalo Bills are to blame for you having to know who the Kardashians are?
What?
So honestly, it is the Buffalo Bills' fault that we know who the Kardashians are.
How?
Are you ready for this?
Yeah, go for it.
So in 1970, last game of the season,
Oh no.
Buffalo Bills are driving. Passes thrown. I mean, barely out of the reach of the fingertips of the receiver. Incomplete. Season over. They lose that game. Because they lose that game,
Oh no.
they now have the number 1 pick in the 1971 NFL draft. And who do the Buffalo Bills pick number 1 in the 1971 NFL draft but a man named O.J. Simpson?
Good old OJ.
So O.J. Simpson gets picked by the Buffalo Bills, lives in Buffalo, right, where he meets his wife, Nicole.
10.
They get married. He allegedly kills her.
Great chase though.
I'm sorry. You don't write a book called basically saying,
If I did it."
I did it, here's how I'd have done it if you didn't do it. I mean, convenient thing for him that double jeopardy is a thing, but whatever.
Yeah, and but then sadly he gladly he
So-
went back to jail after that.
So then he hires Robert Kardashian to be his lawyer. Right? So we kind of learn then who the Kardashians are, so we have an idea. And then because they're kind of thrust into the spotlight, we know who they are. They get like sort of semi-famous within the famous people world. Kim Kardashian does some things that we won't talk about on this podcast, and
And there
they
they
become
are.
super famous. And now we have to. Well, we don't have. I don't have to watch it, but
Yeah, no,
people-
I don't have cable and I love that. But they're
people
everywhere.
watch the garbage that is Meet the Kardashians.
So that's terrible.
So thanks, Buffalo Bills,
Thanks Buffalo and OJ.
and whoever your wide receiver is,
They
and
would have
quarterback
won.
who
But
couldn't.
hold on. They would have won, and then OJ was the number 1 ranked.
I don't know if he was
just
like
been somewhere else. But then maybe it was just with Mr. Kardashian there. I don't know. So I remember this. So I have a daughter named Kendall, and when we were deciding how to name her, Tiff gave me the options because that's what Tiffany is. Like she's pretty smart on this one. It's like I'm gonna let you participate on the naming of the kids, but I know which name I'm gonna decide.
I'm gonna lead you to
That's right.
my decision.
She's like, what about Maria? She's like, there's nothing wrong with that. And I was like, oh, how about? She was like, how about I give you 3 options, honey? I'm like, great. And then she was like, I really highly recommend this option. Anyway, so it was Kendall, and maybe Kendall will know this, but we love the name Kendall. But one of the things that we love about the name Kendall at that point is that we used to have our Kindles when we read. And I was like, oh, that's pretty clever. That's awesome.
Okay.
But we don't name her because of that. But then, like, somebody at work was like, you're naming them because they're Kardashians. And I was like, who?
There's a Kendall Kardashian.
Yeah. So that's how I knew. That was how I approached the Kardashians, because I was like, who in the world, who in the heck is the Kardashians? Who are the Kardashians? And that was it. It was a Kendall. So I came back home and I was like, Tiff, there's a thing called the Kardashians or something like that. And Tiff was like,
You
yeah,
can
that's
thank
it.
the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, but it's not you, Kendall Harper. Not you. So that's her name, Kendall Harper.
Oh,
So
okay.
anyway, so that's it. But oh man, that's crazy. That is almost as an useless information. If I have one right here,
Okay.
right? Because I mean, it's great. We learned that one on that. Instead of that, we're gonna have like deep thoughts.
Ooh.
Deep thoughts. So I was just thinking about this, and like when you go to bed,
Yeah.
right? You pretend to sleep before you go to sleep. Think about this. You go to bed, you close your eyes, and you tell yourself you're going to sleep. And then you sleep.
It's true.
That's it. That's a deep thought right there, you know? That's a deep thought right there.
I can't think of anything else that you pretend to do first.
Yeah, like
Like after this, Jillian and I are going to the grocery store,
what if you
but
pretend?
we don't pretend to go to the grocery store first and then.
That would be bad. Or what if, and maybe this is just funny, but it happens though. You know, that happens when I was a little kid. When you pretend that you were dreaming that you were using the bathroom.
Never trust a pee in your dream. Never trust a pee in your dream.
So you were pretending to use the bathroom in your dream.
Yeah, and there wasn't no pretending. Never
then yet you're
trust
just
a
swimming.
pee in your dream.
And I think that's
And on that bombshell, I think we have to end.
with that one. Deep thoughts. That's it. That's about it. So thank you guys so much. This is another episode of Borderless Banter.
And it was borderless. Y'all, we love you.
That was awesome. That was a good week.
We'll see you next
y'all.
time.
Bye. Went to that.